that Supreme then with his unlimited power will bestow upon you all blessings, all mercy, to bring you out of this material existence ASAP, as soon as possible. So when you contact a bona fide spiritual master, it's not just, you're not only connecting with him, you're connecting with his spiritual master and his spiritual master and his spiritual master, all the way back to the original spiritual master. In Sanskrit, this is called Adhikari, the original spiritual master. The original spiritual master is God himself. So, when you hear from the present spiritual master, who is visible before you in this material existence, he's not, his word is simply a delivery of the words coming from the Supreme Person. He's not inventing some new fancy philosophy to attract followers, no. He's simply repeating the words of the Supreme Authority, God himself, for the sake of helping people out of their miseries. He doesn't desire any followers, any name and fame. He simply wants to help people out of their suffering condition. His heart bleeds to see how much suffering is going on in the world. He can't tolerate it. Therefore, he dedicates his whole life for giving them out this knowledge of the science of the self, Atma Tattva, to the souls who are caught up in darkness, because he wants them to be free. He wants them to be happy. He wants to see the whole world becomes peaceful and prosperous, full of love and kindness. And this is the desire of the bona fide spiritual master. So we are fortunate enough to come in contact with such a personality. We should be very respectful. We should hear from him. I know I was very much of a fool. I had an opportunity to hear from my spiritual master. He was my spiritual master, I had turned down 2 opportunities to hear Prabhupada speak. I was so foolish. Twice. Once in 1969, I had an opportunity. Prabhupada was speaking just a few blocks away from where I was living, in Berkeley, California. I didn't go. I foolishly thought I was God. I didn't want the Swami to pop my little I am God bubble, you see. And then a year later, I was visiting Berkeley, and the devotee said, well, there's a big festival happening in Los Angeles, and Prabhupada's going to be there. Hop in a van, we're driving down tomorrow. Come on with us. One of the brahmacharis had said the day before, so he said, we have to follow the higher authorities. And I was going, ooh, that sounds horrible. Because our philosophy back in the 60s was don't trust anybody over 30. That was our hippie movement, you see. Don't trust anybody over 30. And here's some brahmachari saying we have to follow the higher authorities. My God, are you kidding? That's what I was thinking. So, I was foolishly caught up in this, this selfish type of philosophy, I am God philosophy, but I didn't take advantage of Prabhupada's mercy. But later on, I became sober. I became sobered up by, as they say, the school of hard knocks sobered me up a bit. And I became very serious to pray to God, meditating on Lord Jesus, how this person was a self-realized soul, and what was his secret that made him the self-realized soul that he is. And I found it in the Bible. Christ says, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. I thought, there you go, that's it. Eureka, I found it. I just have to pray to the Lord to please bless me, I can become his perfect servant. So when I was in that mood of begging God to please engage me purely in his service, one very great sannyasi preacher of our movement, His Holiness Vishnu Jana Swami, he came to town, and I started learning from him, and I was ready. I was really ready. And I thought, well, I'm going to make an experiment, I'm going to try this. And he was a little tough on me. It was good, he was testing me. First day I chanted 16 rounds, I said, I think I'd like to become a devotee, I told him. He said, what I'm afraid of is easy come, easy go. He was testing me, he said. Not just, oh great, another devotee, no. Let's see if you really can really cut the mustard. Let's see if you can really do it. He said, what I'm afraid of is easy come, easy go. Let's see if you really can do it or not. It was a challenge. What I'm afraid of is easy come, easy go. I said, it was a challenge. But I realized that these devotees who've given their life to serve the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, they are tasting something on a much higher plane. They are in a very elevated state of consciousness. They're tasting the bliss. I'm here on the outside of the honey jar, licking the outside of the honey jar, trying to get the taste of honey, and all I'm getting is a dry honey jar. I'm not getting the honey. They have opened the lid, their tongues are dipping down into the honey. Because they've accepted the spiritual master's authority. When you actually, that's, Krishna says, you have to have a guru. So, as soon as you accept the authority of the spiritual master as your very life and soul, that's when you really start to taste the honey. And it happened. As soon as I thought, one day I realized, wouldn't it be beautiful? I heard that song on the Radha Krishna Temple album, Samsaradava Naladita Loka Tranaya Karyunyaganaganavam Praptasya Kalyana Gunanamasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarabindam. I heard the devotees singing that in the Radha Krishna Temple album, that one that George Harrison produced, and I was blown away. What amazing love they're experiencing. That is the pure love, surrender to Guru and Krishna. Here, for me, love is something else, trying to enjoy my senses. So-called love, you see. But here is real love. They're tasting something that I'm not tasting. And being an envious person by nature, I didn't want the devotees to outdo me. I didn't want to miss out on the bliss, you see. I realized I'm missing the bliss. These devotees are tasting a bliss that I'm not tasting. I don't want to miss the bliss. So when I had that thought, as I was listening to their wonderful voices, just like an ocean of love, a tidal wave of love sweeping my heart when I heard them singing the Gavastakam prayers. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be beautiful if I gave my life to Prabhupada? And the tears just came streaming down my face, and that was it. Sign me up. When can I get initiated? Because I realized, when you actually surrender to the bona fide spiritual master, the representative of God, that's when Krishna, or God, showers his unlimited mercy upon you. And now this person is serious. They're serious about surrender to me. They're willing to surrender to my representative. So that's the key. If you'd like to achieve this state of steadiness, find a bona fide spiritual master. Hear from him, serve him, inquire from him submissively. These self-realized souls, these bona fide spiritual masters, have the power, the potency, and the kindness to fully enlighten you with transcendental wisdom, transcendental realization, and to help you become facilitated in your original pure identity as a servant of God, described in this verse, completely free of any material agitation of mind, totally peaceful, self-illuminated, self-realized souls. So I can ask now if there's any questions.
You mentioned this, the difference between the inclination and the desires for sense.
I'm trying to volume my hearing again.
You mentioned
Try again.
you mentioned this the difference between the inclination and the
Yes,
desires for sense
that's right.
gratification.
Inclinations and desires. So what's the question?
Could you explain a little bit more how what is the difference?
I'm really happy you asked that. It's a really potent point that Prabhupada makes here. It's really worth going into deeper. I'm very happy you asked this question. I may be inclined to, I may have an inclination to, enjoy something. Just like a man may want to enjoy a woman, for example, which is a natural, very common inclination. A man may want to enjoy a woman. The male hormones are there, there's some stimulation. One may feel the desire to enjoy a woman. But the devotee, even if there's that inclination going on in his body, he just ignores it. It's not me. I don't want to mess with that stuff, you see. I've found a higher level now. A loving relationship with God, not gratifying my senses. He may feel there may be some stimulus or inclination in his body, but no, not interested. He has no desire. In other words, the body may feel the inclination, but he doesn't have it. He has no desire to satisfy the bodily desire, because he knows it's not me. It's not worth my time and energy to satisfy the inclinations that arise. My tongue may desire something. My genitals may desire something, you see. But no, I have no desire to give in to those inclinations, because I know that they're the pathway to hell for me. That's it. No, I'm not interested in doing that. Even though the inclination may be. As the verse itself says, he's not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but always remains still. So many desires may pass through. It's like, well, here comes a desire, enjoy some beautiful woman, some desire comes in. Okay, there's the desire. Okay, hello, goodbye. You see, enjoy this woman, enjoy this woman, enjoy this woman. Okay, here you are, I see you now, okay, bye-bye, keep going. It's like that. As long as we have material bodies, these inclinations will be there. To enjoy a woman or enjoy a man, you see. These inclinations will be there. But this actually, Jamunacharya Albandru, he very nicely describes Yadavadi Mamacheta Krishna Padaravinde Nava Nava Rasadamunyatya Shamtrimasit Tadavadi Bhattanari Sangame Swargamani Avadi Mukushushtu Nishtivanamcha. He says that ever since I've been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna, tasting Nava Rasa, newer and newer pleasures in their transcendental service. Whenever I feel an inclination to enjoy with a woman, my lips curl with this taste and I spit. So he may feel the inclination, but he doesn't want to give in to that inclination. He wants to spit at that inclination. So it's not that he spits at women, no. He spits at the desire to enjoy women. So in that way, that verse is a good example. Whenever the inclination to enjoy sex life comes, I spit at it. He doesn't desire to give in to that inclination. So this way you can understand the distinction between inclination and desire. Yeah.
With talked about this tasting the bliss, and
Yes.
that the key was to accept a spiritual master, and that really opens up for it.
Yes.
Sometimes people who come, they get like a glimpse and a preview into what a higher taste is. What triggers a glimpse into the higher taste?
Mercy. Kripa. The mercy of Krishna and the mercy of Guru is the trigger. Somehow get that mercy. Somehow or other, beg, borrow, or steal. Get the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Because that's the trigger and gives you that higher taste. Trouble is, the mercy comes and we say, no, 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 no. That's what I do. The mercy opportunity came so many times, and I kept saying, no, 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 no. That's the problem. Like you go out and offer the books to so many people, that's the mercy. You're coming to deliver the mercy to them. In front of the book, they say, no, 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 no. Isn't it? Like maybe 1 in 100, 1 in 20, how many take a book? Roughly.
Oh, that differs.
Hmm?
It's hard to say, I don't keep numbers like that, but and a lot of people say no.
Yeah, maybe 20, for every 20 no's, maybe every 50. It's not, everyone, it depends on the day. But let's say a typical, on one day, every 20 people say no, and every 20 times somebody will say yes.
Yes.
So it means most people are just not taking, the mercy is being given, but they're not taking it. So how can I make sure that I don't miss out on the mercy? Well, you have to understand that on your own strength you can never become a self-realized soul. You can never get free of anxieties on your own strength. When you're handcuffed, somebody else has to come and move your handcuffs. You need somebody who has a key or a saw. He can shut his handcuffs. So I require the help of a liberated soul. If I'm going to become liberated, I require the help, the mercy, the kindness, the compassion of a liberated soul. I require that. So if one knows that, then you're and one accepts that, then you're in a very good, you're in a right position to take advantage of all the mercy that comes to you. But if you think, no, on my own, that was I'm thinking, on my own I will do it. I don't need devotees. I thought on my own I'm going to become self-reliant. See, I'm proudly thinking on my own I will do it. I don't need to go to this Bhaktivedanta Swami. On my own. But then Krishna was very kind. He gave me some heavy, heavy kicks, and I realized I'm a lost soul. I need help. I need help. So the key is really to be humble and realize you need help. On your own strength, you're never going to make it. Not in a million births. And to be humble and realize you need help. You need mercy. You realize you need the mercy, that's when it comes and you'll appreciate it. You think you don't need it, it'll just bounce right out. Next question. Yes.
I think that most women want to be chaste and humble and serve peacefully and so like you said, that is to be upset or spit at the inclination and not at the women. How to, like sometimes it may be a little difficult to be a young Majiti, woman, and sometimes you are treated like very respectfully and sometimes nearly like a prostitute.
Can you help me? Yes.
Maybe I didn't get the point. Maybe you can ask a question.
Yeah,
what is it?
The question is that how to encourage perhaps that we have a respectful relationship between the sexes and that the women don't feel like
what did you say?
Relationship between the male devotee and
how to have a proper respect between the men and women in this come?
Yes.
Not that they are treated as prostitutes.
Yes. That is called Mataji. My mother, you were my mother, isn't it? That is the proper name. Some women say, don't call me Mataji, call me Prabhu. I'm offended if you call me Mataji. Some women are saying that now in movement. But they forget that Prabhupada, there's Mother Jasada, there's Mother Radharani is also called Mother Radharani Prabhupada. So Mother is a very respectful title, and actually Mother is also Prabhu. Wasn't when you grew up as a kid, wasn't your mother also your Prabhu? Your mother and father are both Prabhus. They can both chastise you and punish you or encourage you, isn't it? The mother and father are both our masters, isn't it? Your mother was your master, so Mother is also Prabhu. So it's not that to have proper respect between men and women, we have to drop Mataji because it's some sexist term from a sexist Vedic culture. Not like that. In the Vedic culture, the women were given the highest honor. Now the women are disrespected and abused like anything. That lady, that old woman was just practically raped in Turkmen, in Vrindavan. An 80-year-old woman was practically raped on the Turkmen fast in Vrindavan of all places. So, in the Vedic culture, the women were always very protected, just like Prabhupada gave the example of his own mother. He said even if she wanted to go next door to some social function, she would either go in a carriage or in a palanquin carried by 4 men. And this is just, they weren't like rich, they were just a middle-class family. They weren't like ultra-rich people. The father just he had a simple cloth shop. They weren't like ultra-rich people, just middle-class. And there was so much protection. Baba said, carried in a palanquin by 4 men. Not like 4 women. 4 men would carry her next to her, or to some social function in a palanquin. That's the respect. That's pretty respectful. When you want to go somewhere, 4 men come and put you and you sit in a palanquin and 4 men carry you somewhere. Maybe we should have that, institute that discount. We should have 4 male carriers for every woman. When they want to go somewhere, we put them in a palanquin, 4 male carriers. I think maybe we should make that a GBC revolution. Every woman should have 4 male carriers. What do you think? Think it'll pass the GBC? I don't think so, but it's an idea. We don't have enough men, I think, to do them. There's 4 men for every woman to carry them in the palanquin when they need to go somewhere. Yeah?
This is the desire that the women had it, to be independent, they don't want any protection.
Yeah.
They were not
The trouble, let's be honest about it, the men are a bunch of rascals nowadays. The men are not, they don't know how to protect women.
Men have been
The
rustled.
men are very selfish, they're not like in the Vedic culture. It's a problem, what can I say?
Men have been rascal all life.
Huh?
That's why the women need the protection.
I mean, I lost it.
Men have been rascals all the time.
Yeah.
They have not been practicing Krishna Bhakti. So the women have not been. Now, the woman wants the equal rights, so men are taking more advantage of them.
Yeah. Prabhupada gives that example how before this women's liberation idea and I remember when I was in high school back in the US in the 50s. If you got a girl pregnant, you marry her, that's it, finished. Now you can't get married, you made a girl pregnant, marriage, that's it. There's nothing else on getting married. That was the system formerly in the US when I was in high school. But nowadays, you're pregnant, your problem. Either have an abortion or go on welfare. I'm not going to maintain you, I'm not going to protect you, nothing. You see? And that's so-called liberation, you see. Formerly, when the women were protected, that was the proper. They're more protected formerly. Of course, not fully protected as in Vedic culture, but they were more protected formerly. Thinking now we would dance, but they're less protected now. They're more abused now than ever before. So, how to then? What is the solution? How would you treat your mom? How would you treat your mother? That's what we have to do. How will I treat? This is my mother. According to Bhagavad Gita, austerity of the bodies offer respectful obeisances to your mother and father. So the ladies are also our respectful prabhus. And we can bow down at their feet just like anyone else. So there's some thoughts on that.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah, but this disrespect for women existed even in the Vedic times. I mean, the Draupadi story about the sari and...
What does he say?
Isn't it?
Even in Vedic times there were disrespect of women, such as when Draupadi was disrobed or dishonored by the Kauravas.
Yeah.
So it's not only in the Kali Yuga that we are in now, but it was also that time.
Yeah.
So that's what I said, that the men have been always rascal because by nature they are
The
enjoying.
men are exploiters by nature. That's why they want to disrobe Draupadi.
They have been always rascal.
Men are lusty and try to enjoy. It's a fact.
So that is the reason.
They
Women
want to
don't
strip.
want
They
to
want
be
to stick on a naked dance parlor. Men are very debated actually. A man who's not Krishna conscious. Devotees didn't do that. That was the non-devotees who disrobed Draupadi, not devotees. You know, a non-devotee man, you know, they can. They just want to see women as some object of enjoyment. It's very demeaning, very impersonal, it's very cruel.
For example,
Yeah.
For example, Prabhupada made a standard that the woman can be protected and not seen by men. Women should be standing in the back. But women wants the equal right to go forward, so the men can be always seeing them and being lusty over the women. This is one good example.
Yeah.
So women wants equal right with the men, but woman has to think that when a man has a nature, he's not going to suffer when and woman wants to enjoy the same equal level with the man, then woman is the one who is going to suffer,
Yeah.
not the man. That knowledge women should have it. And the Prabhupada says also that when woman is inclined with chastity and all that and remains little low level on their side, then the men will give them more respect, just like Prabhupada gives his own example when they were sitting on the stairs and the woman, sweeper woman came. And she put her broom down because the two...
She didn't want to pass to the
They
men.
did not want, she did not want
She didn't
to
want
pass.
to just brush through the men because they would argue. Yeah, she just stood there. She didn't say a
Stood
word.
there, and then Prabhupada and the other men just
They
moved
got
away
up.
from
They
her.
honored her for her.
Yes.
They appreciated her chastity, and they immediately got up. Oh, here, this woman is waiting. They immediately got up and got out of the way so she could come through. She was considered low-class sweeper woman. They could see she's very high class. By her chastity, she's very, very high class, and they gave her all respect. Prabhupada, yeah, that's an example of Prabhupada.
So that's where we are lucky.
Yeah.
Chastity.
Now-
Shyness,
Yeah.
chastity.
Yeah, that chastity is very important. Yeah. Prabhupada said there's two qualities for a woman, chaste and a good cook. He said any woman who is chaste